arrived in Port Charles with an uneasy stillness, the kind that made even long-time residents uneasy. The streets looked the same, the harbor calm, the coffee still hot at Kelly's, but beneath the surface something was shifting. And by nightfall, nothing would remain untouched. At General Hospital, Elizabeth Weber paused outside a patient room, gripping a chart tighter than necessary. She had seen the name on it twice already, yet her mind refused to accept it. Someone from her past, someone she believed was gone from her life for good, was back in Port Charles, and they were asking for her. Before Elizabeth could gather the courage to step inside, Finn appeared beside her. One look at her face told him this wasn't routine. When he asked what was wrong, Elizabeth only shook her head. "Some things," she whispered, "should stay buried." Across town, Carly Spencer stood in her office at the Metro Court, staring at a sealed envelope that had been slipped under her door overnight. No return address, no explanation, just her name, written in a familiar hand she hadn't seen in years. Inside was a single page, and one sentence that made her blood run cold. "You don't know the truth about who's been protecting you." Carly scoffed at first. She'd survived worse than anonymous warnings, but the more she thought about it, the more unsettled she became. Someone had access to her private schedule. Someone knew about deals she never discussed outside a trusted circle. This wasn't a bluff. At the PCPD, Anna Devane reviewed files with a growing sense of dread. 3 separate investigations, completely unrelated on paper, shared one subtle connection: a financial signature, a transfer pattern so clean it was almost invisible. Someone had been manipulating events from a distance, and they were very, very good at it. Anna leaned back, eyes narrowing. This wasn't about chaos for chaos's sake. This was precision. Someone steering outcomes, nudging lives in certain directions, all while remaining unseen. And for the first time in a long while, Anna felt like she was already several steps behind. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthus sat across from Michael, listening carefully as his son spoke. Michael wasn't angry. He wasn't defensive. He was calm. Too calm. "I've made a decision," Michael said, "and I don't need approval." Sonny studied him, sensing a shift. Michael wasn't reacting anymore. He was planning. Whatever choice he'd made, it had been building for weeks. "What decision?" Sonny asked. Michael stood. "One that's going to upset a lot of people." He left without another word. Back at the hospital, Elizabeth finally entered the room. The person inside looked weaker than she remembered, but the eyes, those were the same, sharp, knowing. "You came," the person said softly. Elizabeth crossed her arms, guarding herself. "Why are you here?" The answer came slowly, deliberately. "Because something you did years ago is about to come out, and when it does, you won't be the only one affected." Elizabeth's breath caught. Old choices, old mistakes. She had spent years trying to build something good on top of them. Now the foundation was cracking. Elsewhere, Trina Robinson confronted Ava in the gallery. Ava had been unusually quiet all day, canceling meetings, closing early. Trina didn't believe in coincidences. "You're hiding something," Trina said. Ava met her gaze. "If I were, would you really want to know?" That hesitation told Trina everything. "You've been warned," Ava added. "So have I. The difference is, I listened." Before Trina could respond, Ava walked away, leaving behind more questions than answers. As the afternoon stretched on, Port Charles grew restless. Calls went unanswered. Meetings were postponed. People felt watched, though no one could say why. Then the first secret surfaced. At the Metro Court, Carly received another envelope, this time delivered openly.
Inside was proof, documents, dates, transactions linking someone she trusted to decisions that had saved her more than once. But the protection hadn't been free. Carly realized with a sickening twist in her stomach that she'd been part of a long game without ever knowing the rules. At the same time, Anna got confirmation of her suspicions. The financial trail led to a shell organization no one had flagged because it looked too clean, too legitimate. Someone had built an invisible empire beneath Port Charles, influencing lives quietly, carefully, patiently. And now, for reasons Anna couldn't see yet, they were ready to step into the light. The second secret broke closer to home. Michael called an unexpected meeting, gathering Sunny, Carly, and Willow in one room. No small talk, no easing into it. "I know who's been lying, and it's not who you think." Silence followed. Michael revealed pieces of information he should never have had access to. Private conversations, hidden agreements, quiet promises. Each revelation landed harder than the last. Willow's face paled. Sunny clenched his jaw. Carly realized the warning she'd received wasn't just about her, it was about all of them. By evening, Elizabeth's past finally caught up to her. The truth she'd hidden to protect someone else was now a weapon in the wrong hands. She had a choice: stay silent and let the damage spread, or speak up and shatter lives she cared about. She chose honesty. And with that choice, another chain reaction ignited. At the pier, Anna finally came face to face with the person she'd been hunting, not in a dramatic showdown, but a quiet conversation filled with meaning. "You planned this," Anna said. The person smiled faintly. "I prepared for it. You've been controlling outcomes. I've been correcting them." Anna realized then this wasn't a villain in a traditional sense. This was someone who believed they were right, someone who saw themselves as necessary, and that made them far more dangerous. As night fell, Port Charles buzzed with fallout. Relationships strained, loyalties cracked, long-held assumptions collapsed under the weight of truth. By Wednesday's end, nothing had exploded outwardly. No sirens, no headlines, just something far more unsettling. Trust was broken, and everyone could feel it. Because when secrets finally surface in Port Charles, the real shock isn't what's revealed, it's what comes next.